your safety merit badge. We understand at the Sagamore Council that things are a little bit different in all of our worlds right now, right? Things are a little bit different. We're all quarantined to our houses. We don't have regular school to go to. We can't go to our friends' houses and play. Our baseball seasons or softball seasons are put on hold, right? So we understand that life is a little bit different for everybody right now, and giving you guys all the opportunity to earn some merit badges and continue your scouting journey while still quarantined to our houses is something that we're really excited to do. This will not be the only opportunity. Mr. Bob's going to take over here in just a few minutes and lead the rest of the merit badge. But this isn't going to be your only badge opportunity that you're going to have. We're going to have multiple opportunities coming up over the course of the next couple of days and couple of weeks that we'll communicate out via our Facebook page for the Sagamore Council. We have a virtual merit badge Facebook group. And then our council website is sagamorebsa.org. And so in the chat function here on the as a part of the Zoom, I'll put the links to those 3 places for your moms or dads or grandmas or grandpas, whoever you live with, to make sure that they stay in the know so they know what opportunities are out there for you guys to work on while you guys are at home. So I'm super excited, Bob. I see 35 people on the call right now. That is incredible. Now there is a capacity of 100. So if we hit a capacity, that's going to be a big deal. But guys, I am super excited that you guys have jumped on to do this. And just to put a little bug in your ear, we will have University of Scouting in the fall at Purdue. We're working on the class and the courses for those as well. So that information is coming for you guys to work on, or to go to Purdue and do University of Scouting on November the 7th is when that will be. So Bob, I don't want to take any more time. I just wanted to jump on and see how things were. And it looks like we've got a couple of adults on the call as well. So we've got 2 deep leadership here.
Yep.
As long as we can maintain 2 adults on the call at all times, we're fine there. So we don't have scouts and adults one-on-one. So I think everything looks good. I'm excited, guys.
Start.
Have some fun. Get to it. I'm going to mute myself. I'll throw a couple links in the chat function. And Bob, take it away, man. Thanks again.
Thank you. And we got people from Pennsylvania, by the way, Brian. So we got from other states. Always great to see other scouts. Anyway, good morning to everybody. My name is Bob Sambolin. Some of you have already known me for a different name, Bobby. Everybody knows me as Bobby since I was a little kid. Anyway, I like to start out my merit badges with a phrase that a scoutmaster, who just happened to be my grandfather, said, "The way you see yourself, I saw myself. The way you see me, you will see yourself." Anyway, guys, just to show you, this guy right here, that's at 12 years old. So I was a scout also. And my good friend Charles next to me. Anyway, all of you are here to do the safety merit badge. And as everybody's here, we just happen to be locked down. Why? Because of safety. Safety does not mean that it's one thing. Safety is many things. And I'm going to share my screen, the PowerPoint. And let me share it. Okay, let's get it rolling here. So, guys, Boy Scouts of America has had the safety merit badge for a very long time. Okay, as you see, you have one book to the side, called Safety. I don't know where that scribble came from. Oh, somebody's controlling my screen here. Hang on. So guys, let's go back for a moment. So we got couple of books that Boy Scouts of America have been using for years. We got the Safety here, starting, that's back like in 60s. The second one is safety during the 1970s. A recent one, and our latest and greatest is the one you see here with the orange jacket. Okay? Now, Brian, if you could help, I don't know. Oh, maybe it was me that I did annotate. We'll fix that here in a moment. Okay? Maybe somebody.
Yeah, it looks like you're in edit mode, not presentation mode, Bob.
Yeah.
So you go to slideshow at the top. Or that works there too. That's the shortcut.
But the scribbles are coming up again. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, guys, as you can
work through it.
As you can see, all merit badges are family. All merit badges are related. Why do I say this? If you look at each one of the merit badges, starting with safety, every single day of our life, as we get up from bed, go do our chores in the morning, go to school, drive, do our sports, everything has a safety aspect, even though you may not think about it, okay? That there's safety. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scout motto. What can we do with being prepared? Well, if we go hiking, we have to watch out for the weather. We want to be hydrated, so we want to have water with us, correct? We want to have people know where we're going,
tired.
when we're gonna get there, and stuff that we're gonna be doing, okay? Same with finances.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, somebody's got control of my batch, my presentation, so we'll do it block by block. Anyway, so it doesn't necessarily have to be with hiking. Everybody that's here in the presentation should know already that you have to do the cyber check. So we also do safety by protection of what we do on the internet, of how we handle our money, okay? Okay, so Scouts, when you deal with the merit badges, just think about it. Every single merit badge is interconnected, okay? And we can do a whole bunch of things with them that are safety-wise. Okay, your first requirement is explain what safety is and what it means to be safe.
I'll have
Okay,
to eat some Cheetos.
hang on, guys. Let me get out of the sharing.
And Bob, you have an opportunity to control everybody's mute. I would encourage everybody to go ahead and mute their microphones unless you need to speak something. That way we don't have a lot of background noise while the presentation's happening.
That is correct. I had paused everybody. Let me get my screen back up. Let me resume share. Okay. So anyway, we're going to explain what safety is and what it means to be safe. Then you, the Scouts, have a couple of things to do. Okay. So probably I have somebody that's in here that one of my settings is not set correctly. Folks, let me interrupt here quickly. Unfortunately, there's one setting I did not find. And please be aware, parents, that there's people that might have jumped in that should not be here and may cause issues, okay? So please be prepared to shut your screens, and I'll send out a notice if we have to do it. One of my settings did not get locked down. Anyway, Scouts, you have to, with your parents' permission or your guardian's permission, you're gonna look for articles, facts, statistics of injuries in the home and workplace, also about crimes. Then you're gonna write a paragraph, Okay, explaining how a serious fire accident or crime can affect our family. Also, list of practices, safety devices currently used by your families, okay, while working, driving, and other stuff. Now, everybody's seen the signs out there: slippery when wet, caution, you could have electrocution, you can pinch yourself, stop at the crosswalks, don't drink this because it might be poisonous. Careful with other chemicals, it could cause a fire. If we're in the car, we do not want to cross through the railroad track. All of these are safety warnings and features. So safety first starts with you, okay? And think safety first. So, what is safety? To protect against failure, breakage, or accident. Okay, on our daily life, if we're going to use a chemical, we know that we should be using gloves. Okay, so we don't get burnt by the chemical. Our skin will not absorb it. Okay, let's review just quickly some of the safety aspects. The first one is us. What we use, what we drink. Remember Boy Scouts fitness. Okay, we want to keep our bodies healthy. A good mental attitude. So that's part of safety. Then what we do at school, what we do at home, the items we use at home. Okay. Now, what it means to be safe. What means to be safe, at least for me, is to have a clean home. Okay. Going back, what I eat, what I drink, keeping myself healthy, doing exercise. A lot of you don't drive yet. There might be one or two scouts here that might be driving. Okay, I see Kyra doing the sign. So you might be driving here shortly. So we all have heard, don't text while driving, don't use your phone. Okay, that type of stuff. Okay, I did see where somebody raised their hand. I'm trying to get to, sorry folks. Trying to get my stuff. Virtual camera, resume the share. If you guys can type it on the side. Brian, are you still there that you can see? I can't see my chat.
Yeah, I'm here. The chat function is live, guys. It should be at the bottom of your screen. You should have the option to click chat. That opens up the chat bar, at least on my computer, on the right-hand side. And you can ask questions in there if you need to, as opposed to coming on verbally.
Sorry, I locked you in on your verbal. Anyway, guys, I see that somebody's got control of my screen again. Okay, hopefully that will help. And then, sorry, this is the first time I do so many. Okay, I got the chat screen up. Okay, I see a couple of highs. Okay. Anyway, folks, let's continue. If I got the chat screen on, if anybody has a question, go ahead and ask it now, since I'm hearing the chat screen. I'm not hearing the chat screen. I'm seeing the chat screen. Anyway, what else? So as we continue down here, what it means to be safe, there's multiple things. I was talking about all of those of you that drive. We really have to pay attention. A lot of those of us that work on a daily basis at factories and other places, for those that work at supermarket, what it means to be safe will be handling of food, making sure that the refrigerators are at the optimum temperature, okay? That the freezers are at the optimal temperature, that produce, meats, and other things like canned goods that have expired, their dates have gone beyond what we can consume, okay? That you might want to dispose of properly so other people don't get it. I'm reminded of a story back in the 1970s where people would go into garbage cans looking for baby food because they couldn't afford food. Well, fortunately, that was expired, okay? And the children were getting sick. So that's a couple of things. So newspaper, internet with parent guardian permission or other articles. So I want to quickly show you the screen over here of some of the places you can come and find out about safety in the household. You can also do a quick search, okay? Let me do something quickly here. That's not working, but accidents. In the home. A lot of you will be looking for these up, so facts and figures. That's when I suggest that you can go in and report back to me. Okay, what accidents happen at the home? How can you resolve it? How can you prevent them? Okay, another one I have here is the USNet News tells you about the 5 causes of accidents in the home. Okay, and then NSC also is a great place for you to go and check out different things. Let me go back to sharing screen. Anyway, the 1B, newspaper, internet, parent guardian permission, or other articles, facts about crime. And that one was one that you were seeing a moment ago that you'll have to tap into. National Terrorism Advisory, okay? Look for what that means and write it down, okay? Okay, 1C, you're to write and report to me, paragraph or more, written by you explaining how a serious fire accident or crime could change your family's life. Some of you may have not experienced a fire at your house. Some of you may have not experienced a tornado at your house. Unfortunately, I do know someone that has experienced tornado. They lost it all. Folks, be prepared. In your handbooks and also in Boy Scouting, you have a number of literature, merit badges, and other things you can use to be prepared, okay? Your 24-hour backpack to go kit, your family kit, just in case a tornado happens, okay? Or if there's a fire and you can get it out. Some people keep 24-hour packs in their vehicles. So if there's a fire, they have to leave at least for 24 hours. They have a change of clothes. They might have the proper information to contact their bank, contact family member, okay? Let's go to 1D, a list of safe practices and safe devices currently used by your family, such as safety practices used at home while working and while driving, okay? So for those that are chatting and saying no tornadoes, I used to live in Connecticut and go to Allentown, Pennsylvania quite a bit. When I used to live there, yes, there were tornadoes, okay? It's rare in the northeast portion of the United States for it to happen. I also grew up with hurricanes. I did experience Eloise and about 5 other hurricanes. They're not fun, okay? For me, I haven't experienced a tornado. But for me, I prefer to be in a hurricane than in a tornado, okay? Anyway, for 1D, list of safe practices, safety devices currently used. Here in my home, some of the stuff we use to be safe in the home is we have smoke detectors, we have carbon monoxide detectors. We also have proper locks on the doors because crime is another safety issue. So we make sure our deadbolts are good, that the keys are different for every door, okay? Some people may say no, but sometimes using different keys for different deadbolts is appropriate. The other thing we do is we make sure we have different extension cords that are proper to the devices we're gonna use, okay? I don't know how many of you scouts are aware, but cables like these, this is the power supply to my computer. Using the incorrect extension cord could heat up and burn the carpet, catch paper on fire. That's another thing. We want to keep your house clean, okay? To have, not have stuff that will burn. Sorry, I'm pausing because I'm also seeing everybody comment on the chat group, okay? You do not want electrical devices behind curtains. These can heat up and burn, okay? So those are some of the things we try to use here at the house to prevent fires, okay? The other thing we try to do around the house is that if we find ourselves out of the house and there's a major disaster, or there's a fire, or there's a lockdown at school, who are you gonna contact? Where are we gonna meet? Who are we gonna meet with? That type of stuff, okay? Now, going to the next slide. Number 2, do the following. Using a safety checklist approved by your counselor, make an inspection of your home, identify any hazards found, and explain how these can be corrected. Okay, and B, review and develop your family's fire prevention plan. Review your family's emergency action plan for fire in your home. As you develop these plans with your family members, share with them facts about the common cause of fire in the home, such as smoking, cooking, electrical appliances, and candles. Okay? So, most of you, if you have not been able to download the workbook, also you can go to BSA and look up the safety merit badge. You can copy the questions that are in the booklet from there. Okay? Okay. I see people raising hands. If you could ask the questions or do the comments on the chat, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, any questions for now? It's 12:22. Can we do a quick pause? Okay. Let me stop the share here. Anybody need to take a quick rest, grab a bottle of water, please go ahead and do it at this time. Okay, and we'll be back here in 5 minutes.
First name, last name, your troop number, and then if you're not in the Sagamore Council in North Central Indiana, put what council you're from, just so if we have to find a way to get back to you later, we can. And then also, that should be enough. So first name, last name, troop number, and council. We can get any other contact information from there. So.
Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Let me see if this will work for me. Here we go. Share. Okay. So this is question number 2. We were going through it. The paperwork that you can find online, your workbook, there's a checklist there. Okay, so I'm approving that one. And make an inspection of your home. So identify the hazards. A lot of you scouts and parents are not electrician. Okay, I worked at a company called Westinghouse. That changed names to 2 different companies, and what we did was high voltage equipment. Okay, so one thing in your home that's very dangerous is electricity. We don't think about it. We just plug stuff in every day, flip switches like nothing. Okay, unfortunately, older homes might have what's called tube and knob. That wiring may be very dangerous nowadays. The more we plug in, the more the wire heats up, and that might be a cause of a fire hazard. Okay? Stuff that you have plugged in. We tend to buy a lot of multi-outlet and put it into a 2-prong plug with 2 outlets. Okay? Unfortunately, putting a lot of stuff there will heat up that device and may cause a fire hazard. So those are some of the things you might be looking for. You might want to look for cords that might have a cut. That can cause a spark and maybe cause a fire, okay? Or it might cause electrocution. Older homes also do not have ground fault interrupts, GFCI. So if you're touching water and you're touching electricity, you might get shocked, okay? How about in the garage? If you have a garage attached to your home, okay? That also could be a hazard. You might have paints, you might have gasoline, you may have other stuff in there that could cause a fire or an explosion, okay? Those are stuff that you wanna look at, and you wanna look at the cans, you wanna look at the safety features that whatever device you're using, operating, and thinking of, you want to look at those instructions, okay? Keep away from or have it plugged in a certain place exclusively. Okay, 2B, review and develop your family's fire prevention plan. I have a 2-story home, Scouts, and we have a ladder and other devices that if we have to leave the 2nd story because the fire is on the bottom portion of the home, how are we going to get out of the house? Okay, how do you open the windows? There's a lot of people that don't know how to open their windows properly. So you want to make sure you know how to open those windows, and maybe have a ladder that you can throw down the window and be able to get out of the 2nd story. After that, if there's a fire, where are we going to meet? Are we going to make sure that we're all together? Okay. And that question also to be, okay, think about smoking. People that smoke, a lot of them go outside nowadays. But one of my grandparents used to smoke, and he would fall asleep in bed smoking. Many times he woke up to a fire on his bed. Okay. Do you have fire extinguishers? Or are those fire extinguishers good? Remember, everything we're talking about here, you can use for first aid, family life, emergency preparedness. These are some of the things that you can do and have prepared for those merit badges. Now, Scouts, a lot of people, if there's a grease fire in the home, they take a fire extinguisher, point it at the grease, and shoot it. Unfortunately, you can spread the oil, the grease, everywhere if you use a fire extinguisher that's not proper for the kitchen, okay? So if you do have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen, make sure it's an appropriate one to put out grease fires, okay? How about appliances? If they're new, they're old, if they're good, okay? Decided to, let me get to the 3. Okay, discuss with your counselor how to contribute to safety of yourself, okay, of your family, And let me read it over here since I got some things covering. And your community, okay? So write those down in the paper. That's something that you can do immediately and respond to me immediately, okay? So safety, let's say at your home, keeping the house clean, okay, with your family, not being all crazy in the car, keeping mom and dad safe from driving, okay? Now, this is you guys. Scouts, show your family members how to protect themselves and your home, okay, from your home accidents, fires, burglary, robbery, and assault. Scouts, if you leave your house, it's good to have some night lights and some other stuff on to show that you are at home. Not all scouts that are present in this conversation today live in places where you see a lot of crime compared to New York, Connecticut, Eastern Pennsylvania, some parts of Ohio like Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, and so on, okay? Those are places where there's more prevalent crime. Indianapolis also has places where there's a lot of crime. So how you protect your home, prevent crimes, okay? How do you prevent being a victim of crime out on the street? And you scouts, from reading your handbook, reading the youth protection, doing the cyber chip, remember 2 Deep Leadership, have a buddy system that always deters crimes out on the street. So look them up. Most of these answers are in your handbook. Okay, so 3C, discuss with me. Okay, tips for online safety. Explain steps individuals can take to help prevent identity theft. Okay, if you've done your chip, your cyber chip, you should be able to answer these immediately. Okay, so some of the things you see on the screen right now, okay, you already know. So don't click on emails that you don't recognize, because those links are to grab information from you. Okay, ask permission from your parents to be online, to look stuff up. Some of you like to play a lot of games. My son constantly comes to me, Dad, can we log on? Can we buy this service for this game or that game? You guys know what to do with the cyber chip, okay? Never open the attachments. You don't know what's going to pop up. Even if you don't see nothing wrong with your computer, there's a lot of bugs and stuff that can get onto your computer, okay? That other people can have control of your computer, okay? Nowadays, it's harder and harder to keep yourself private, okay? More and more information is out there on the internet and can harm you in different ways, okay? Let's go to 3D. Well, these were common and stuff that I was copying and pasting, okay, for your safety. And as we learned today, I'm still learning about Zoom, so some people are ahead of the curve with me. Okay, so this is still part of 3C. Okay, 3Ds. I posted it for you. You guys can be copying it down right this minute. Discuss with your counselor the 3 R's of youth protection. And you should know it if you've done advancement, if you've done your cyber chip, okay? Recognize, response, and report. Okay, I'll leave it there for a moment. Hopefully everybody's copying it. Refresher. Remember, this is in your handbook. Okay, somebody said, yeah, the crime is bad in Philly. I just happened to visit Philly last year. Enjoyed it. Did the tour, the walking tour down there. Visited a lot of record stores also. Did the museums and so on. And a lot of great food out in Philly. Besides, that's kind of my old stomping grounds for those in Philly. Allentown, Schuylkill Haven, that part of those areas. Okay, let's proceed. Number 4, this you have to do. Show your family the exits you would use for different public buildings. Okay, such as theater, municipal buildings, library, supermarket, shopping centers of your place of worship. Okay, in the event of an emergency, teach your family what to do in the event that they need to take shelter or evacuate a public place. Scouts. Okay, somebody says, can you go back to the slide? Yes, we can do that. There are the 3 R's. So Scout, the 3 R's are actually in your handbook. Also on the NetSmart for the cyber chip. Okay, Kyle is asking a good question, which is part of some of these questions. How do you recognize child abuse? Scouts, child abuse is very hard to recognize, okay? There are different factors with child abuse. You could have physical bruises. If you know the person for many years, it could be that that scout or that person was happy, what we say go lucky, enthusiastic, and all of a sudden they retreat. When they see somebody, they get scared. They say, I don't want to go to activities. There's different types of child abuse, and you might want to go to NetSmart. Also, ask your scoutmaster, ask your unit leaders. There's a video from Boy Scout called It Happened to Me. It's about 40 minutes long, and it goes through all of the stats, all of the things that might tell you how to recognize child abuse. Doesn't have to be physical, doesn't have to be sexual, it can be verbal. Just constantly saying that you're worthless or you're dumb or stuff like that, and sorry that I'm saying it, but some of those repeatedly, the child or the person starts thinking that type of stuff. That is part of abuse. Okay, not only for children, also adults, adults in healthcare, people that mentally have problems. So it's complicated. Okay, Brian, if you want to answer Zach and Jennifer there are 2 Sagamore councils on Facebook, North Star and Wabash. We are Wabash Valley, but I think we have a page for Camp Buffalo and stuff like that. Okay, somebody said 3C. Okay. And Kyle, yes, you're correct. Child abuse refers to any emotional, sexual, or physical mistreatment as well as neglect of child. And yeah, almost always the person, because it's not only children, we talk about children nowadays, but it's the whole gamut from newborns to elderly that are about to pass away. Okay? Hang on a second, folks. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, for those that were asking which Facebook page you're trying to get to, so the Sagamore Council Boy Scouts of America is our council page. That's where everything runs through for our council. We have 3 geographical districts. We have the Peshawar District, the North Star District, and the Wabash Valley District. All 3 of those have their own individual pages as well. So all the information that you guys would need with regards to these types of classes are going to go through our Sagamore Council BSA page. And then if you're on that page and you go to groups, there's a virtual merit badge group as well that will have information on there. So I hope that helps. Who asked that question? Zach, if that gives you what you need, perfect.
Okay. So if you guys are ready with what did I do here? We did these. This is 3D. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about number 4, show the exits and so on. Scouts, unfortunately, some years ago, we had the shooting that happened at a theater in Colorado. Also, there's been fires at places of gathering that are discos, dance places, also restaurants. It just happened to hit close to home. San Juan, Puerto Rico had a casino, and the union people at that casino, unfortunately, had a dispute with the casino. The doors were locked. Some of the people created a fire, and that put the whole hotel on fire, okay? So unfortunately, a lot of people got hurt. How did people flee the place? Well, the only exits that were open was one of the ways. The other way was going up the stairs, okay? They went up to the roof, and luckily a whole bunch of pilots with helicopters went and rescued people. Yes, there were some deaths, same as in the theater. It's very sad that it happened, okay? But you never know what other situation. Again, severe thunderstorm, you got a hail outside, where are you gonna go? Next time you go out and you visit a place, look around you, think, is there a bad thunderstorm coming? Where can I take shelter, okay? So like Kyra is mentioning a stabbing at her high school. Unfortunately, that's a sad fact of nowadays. So when you're at school, what places can you go to? Where can you hide? Where can you exit your school immediately? So think about these things and tell your family, okay? Teach them about number 4. So is everybody okay? I'm gonna move the slide to the next one. Number 5, so you, the scout, have to do an emergency action plan, okay? Do it for your home, okay? But if you want to challenge yourself and do it for your place of worship, theater, a picnic, a beach, while traveling. Scouts, now that we say picnic, beach, or traveling, we all go to camps. Sometimes we go for an hour or 2 away to a Boy Scout camp or some other facility for your troop, your unit, okay? What are some of the things that we have to do for those? Watch the weather a weekend ahead. Find out about the place you're going to, okay? What insects, reptiles, and other stuff are dangerous or poisonous around that area? Where are there shelters? Not every place has 911 working, okay? So what are alternate telephone numbers? My favorite one, guys, use your emergency preparedness merit badge and get your radio merit badge. Why? Because where a cell phone doesn't work, citizen band radio, ham radio, family radio service, FRS radios, those that you can buy, are perfect utensils for you to use as you're traveling, okay? Let other people be aware of where you're going, when you're expected to leave, when you're expected to come back, okay? So I just gave you a plan right there that you can use for your troop as an example, okay? I just put underneath a couple of instances like supermarket. Where are the exits for fire, smoke, or gas smell? You never know when accidentally a propane tank goes bad, a gas line goes bad, okay? How about some equipment inside of the supermarket if it fell on other devices that start sending out smoke or some weird smell? How will you use the supermarket as your shelter for a tornado or storm? How about if you have siblings, little kids that get lost within the supermarket, where to go, where to find your, sorry, I'm reading the notes of Radio Merit Badge. Good job, guys, for taking it. Anyway, if you have somebody lost during a camp out, where should you stay to try to find you? That's another thing. Some of you mentioned about bad happenings at school, so where would you go to meet for different situations? A lot of you practice tornado drills and also shooting drills at school. They're unfortunate for the shootings and stabbings and other stuff, but what does the school promote? Can you give them a hint of something better? Or what has been missing at your school or other place that you could suggest and improve the system, okay? So when I mentioned Carry Camp or Camp Buffalo, those are our camps here in Sagamore Council, okay? Carry Camp is in Wabash Valley. Anyway, what do we do for thunderstorm and tornado shelter? Remember that also summertime is coming. We're winter going into spring. Change of clothes. Remember, Voice Live has a lot of these answers already for you. Your handbook has a lot of these answers. Oh, okay. So sunburn, prevention, safety, bring appropriate clothes, bring suntan lotion. Okay, let's go to the next one. So you guys, you scouts, you know what to do for number 5, right? I hope so. Okay, just keeping on with 5, I just added some of my comments. Like I said, check the weather. Listen to the weather on a daily basis. Most of you that go to a week summer camp, they might have a weather report every day. And as you get there, you will have what are the signs for lost person, what are the signs for a tornado or thunderstorm, stuff like that, okay? Remember, first aid kit, very important. 6, plan and complete a safety project approved by your counselor for your home, school, place of worship, place of employment, or community. One suggestion, home safety project. Scouts, I wish I could show you right now, but we're about to change our basement, our carpet, and a lot of the stuff is in my garage. And actually, a couple of the pieces of furniture are covering our exit door. So that would be a project to improve. Maybe take that stuff out, maybe take it to a storage room, okay? So that would improve that if we have an issue here, we can run out. The second one, I have my oldest son is actually 23. He's an Eagle Scout. His home safety project was actually open up the space underneath our stairs. It used to be covered. We got somebody to put a door, and we did that our safety zone for tornadoes or severe thunderstorm. So think about a project you could do. Again, it doesn't have to be your home, but write to me. Let me know what you're thinking and how you would proceed, okay? And, okay, explain the National Terrorism Advisory System and how you would respond to each type of alert. Now, Scouts, let me switch my screen here momentarily. Let me go to this one. Scouts, Department of homelandsecurity.gov. Okay, this is where you can find the advisories. People that are in our government, FBI, CIA, and other organizations within, have people around the world, and they take a look at what other countries might want to do against us, what their thought is, how their government is run. Okay, and we know for a fact, unfortunately from 9/11, that there's people that don't like how we live. They don't like the freedom we have. Okay, and they will do anything in their power to hurt us. Okay, to get us to think their way. I don't think anybody here in the United States wants that to happen. We want to live the way we live, freedom. Okay, freedom for our religion, freedom to choose if we want to do baseball, basketball, whatever. Okay, let me go back to the screen. Oops. And we were at number 7. Sorry, guys. Technology once in a while escapes me. Okay. And let's go from there. My PowerPoint doesn't want to help out. Hang on. Share. Here we go. Anyway, we'll do it slide by slide. Brian, can you see my slide right now? Number 7? Or am I showing something different? Okay. So, Scouts, the advisory, as I put there, 2011 Department of Homeland Security replaced the color code alerts of Homeland Security. Okay? So you can go to these websites or the government of your town. Remember that a community starts with you, then your family, then your town. Okay? If you're in a county or a town, and then it proceeds like a reverse pyramid. Again, starts with you, then it goes upwards to your town, your county, your state, and then federal. Okay? So some of your towns might be communicating this information on a daily basis. Okay, maybe you have to go to the website and be able to show or see or read what type of stuff you're looking out for. We have parents that their jobs take them to other locations around the world. So this would be a great website that you can read and make sure that you're okay going to that location. So right now, our advice from the national level, from our president, is don't fly out of the country, remain home. Our governor yesterday here in Indiana said the same thing. If you're not a first responder, if you're not critical, stay home, okay? Anyway, guys, I've spoken a lot. There's only a few more, 7 and 8. Why doesn't everybody take a 5-minute break? It's 1:07. Take a 5-minute break, get some water, and let me do that myself, and we'll take some more questions and finish this today, okay? So guys, I will be right back. Guys, I'm back. Brian, you can unmute if you have some question and answer. And for the Bax family, I would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Flashlights in your house, have batteries. That's another thing with safety and batteries. Check the flashlights. Make sure the flashlight recommends a specific battery. Okay. There are double A's that look like double A's, but they're not the proper, appropriate kind for the device. Okay, some devices cannot handle what's called nickel metal hydride. You need carbon, which are the normal double A's that you buy at the supermarket, hardware store, or whatever. Okay. Guys, suggestion of projects throughout the home. You have fire alarms, check them. Usually when the clock changes, that we move the clock ahead. Now for springtime, we go around our house checking all of the batteries of the smoke detectors, flashlights. Another project at your home that you could do if you have a pantry where you store your food. Okay? That could be another project. See how much old food you might have that's unedible. Okay, cans that might be bulging because they're not worthy anymore. Yeah, Kyle, you can unmute yourself right now. Should be able to and ask questions.
On average, how long is each class that we're going to be doing today? Like, and tomorrow?
Okay, well, technically, I will be done here in a moment with all of the questions and my suggestions. Tomorrow's class, we can make it half an hour to an hour, and it's mainly to go over questions you folks might have, or maybe discuss what you've completed, or what type of project, like everybody's going down the line here.
All right.
And then for,
Thank you.
would a whole house cleaning project count? Sure. Remember, your safety to get out of the house. One thing I did not comment, for example, is, are your carpets in good shape? Some people put carpet down on top of a wood floor. Well, sometimes the elderly will misstep on that carpet and that carpet will slide. That automatically will be a fall and hurt somebody. That's a safety concern. So what can you do to improve that carpet? Should you tack it down? Should you get a device to put under the carpet that grabs the wood floor? And then my email again. Yeah, I'll write it down here. So, okay, I just posted it. Okay, for the Alexis Armstrong over there,
Sir?
check requirements daily in Scout Book. Well, as you guys, I'm going to have to go one by one, make sure I get your invitations and I see you in Scout Book. And then I can check off today, number one, and a few others. But most of these you have to do. Okay, Caden, if you finish today, you don't have to listen tomorrow, but I still need to talk to you to see how your projects and other stuff are going, okay? So I can give you credit. Sage, go ahead.
All right, so with the whole floor mat thing with elderly people, there is like grippy, carpety stuff that goes under the carpet so then it can't slip around or anything.
That's correct. There are different things that you can
What?
buy to put your carpet, make it still, not slip. In the case of my grandmother, And if everything goes well, she'll be 101 this June. We had to remove a lot of the carpet around the house because there's beautiful wood floor underneath it, and she can't move around with her walker. But before she was in her hundreds, back when she was about 80s, she started tripping. That's another thing. If the carpet, the lip of the carpet is curled up, you might get your foot underneath it and all of a sudden fall forward or backwards, stuff like that. So cleaning the house, yes, definitely that is a great project. Also, it's good for you to clean all of the dust that's around. A lot of people have allergies, okay? And more than 5 minutes have gone by, so let's get back here to... Any other questions?
Me.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had a time where you have fallen because of the carpet being the carpet misfunctioning?
I have tripped at places that I go by, like coffee or food, where they lay down their carpets, and somebody came, opened the door rolled the carpet, and I've been speaking with other people, not paying attention, and my foot gets caught. It's been several times. And then, Kaden, that sounds good. Yeah, we can meet tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to mute all again so we can proceed and finish here. So as I was saying with number 7, currently with the coronavirus, we're in lockdown. They're recommending us not to leave the country because everybody around the world has gotten the corona. Well, not everybody has gotten the coronavirus, but like Italy, Spain have been also hit pretty bad. And there's a lot of sick people, okay? But when it comes to terrorism, when you go and fly out, you might want to look at this webpage and find out what recommendations the United States of America government is telling you to use when you go out to those places, okay? Where to go, where not to go, who to contact. If something happens to you, where to go to get the proper information and the proper help. Those are other things that you can do, okay? Now, as it says in my slide here, it recognizes that Americans all share responsibility for the nation's security and should always be aware of the heightened risk of terrorist attacks in the United States and what they should do. So, guys, if there's something out of place, if you're used to something in your town and all of a sudden something changes, might not be anything bad, okay? But you might want to be aware. It's like if your neighborhood grows and you start seeing people that you're not used to and then stuff starts happening, you might want to be aware of what those things are, okay? Anyway, let's go to the last slide here for number 8. So same as Radio Merit Badge, learn about 3 career opportunities in the field of safety. Pick one career and find out the education, training, and experience required for that profession. Discuss this choice with your counselor and explain why this profession might interest you. So if you scouts want to copy those 2 links, safety can be firefighting, can be medical, it can be to supervise a factory and make sure that everything at the factory is in good shape, okay? Also, at schools, I got friends that their job is to go to different schools and make sure the school is up to date and compliant with code. Also, you could help out the police. You don't have to be a police, but you could be the inspector that comes in and make sure they have the proper equipment. Okay? There's multiple things in the aviation field. You could be an inspector for the mechanic area. So you visit mechanics and you say, how many engines have you worked on? Can you show me your logs? Okay. Yeah, this is the last slide, guys. And a very good point, Alexis. Yeah, there's Explorer Post. We used to have one here in town. I believe they worked with the police. So, and there's other Explorer posts that take you beyond what a merit badge would do, okay? I have a good friend in Connecticut. He's an emergency medical technician, and they have a high school there with Explorer Post where the students get their regular studies, but whoever's in charge that day, they will get the call to jump into the ambulance, okay? Go to the scene and do what they're being trained to do. So once they graduate from high school, they already have a career. Okay. Scouts, I know I've compressed a subject that can be taught forever. Okay, but you, the scout, as scouting says, this is for you to learn and for it to be a stepping stone as a hobby or a career in the future. And also, you do this badge and you do the work that's requested of you. A lot of this stuff will show up in the Radio Merit Badge, in the camping, cooking, hiking, family life, emergency preparedness. All of them are related to one and all. Okay, any other questions, guys, before I shut down? We're almost done here. Any thoughts, any comments? Okay, I will post a new invitation on our website at Sagamore Council. Okay, and if anybody has any questions, any ideas, any thoughts, or you want me to start checking off your requirements on Scoutbook as you've proceeded, okay? Tomorrow is going to be one of the days. Any parents, any adult leaders have any questions? Okay, for the Blackwelder family there, I'm able to do Family Live, okay? It'll be almost the same thing. I'll discuss it. I was planning on doing next week, 2 different times throughout the week, just for about an hour each topic, Monday through Thursday. Radio Merit Badge, genealogy. Okay, the email again, you can either scroll up. Radio Merit Badge I'm planning to do next week. Okay. I just have to get some stuff set up for the Radio Merit Badge. And there's my email again. Again, it's R for Robert, last name Sambolin, S, and I wrote it wrong, guys. I put double L. It's not double L. Sorry, my keyboard has the, if I leave it down too long. So rsambolin@hotmail.com. Thank you, Brian, for posting that. Anyway, let me reduce this. Manage participants, and we're gonna, okay. So I mentioned some of the badges. Okay, so if there are any questions, people can unmute their microphones.
I have a question. So are we sending you an invite for Scoutbook, or are you going to find us on Scoutbook?
It's easier if you find me on Scoutbook, and then I'll accept the invitation, and I, as a counselor, will be able to find that immediately in my list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions by the parents, unit leaders, anybody else? Again, this is a fascinating merit badge. I can go hours on end. I just scratched the surface. Again, this covers from you yourself, your daily life, how you dress, how you eat, the exercise you do, and as it splits off on sports you do, everybody knows whatever sports you're in, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever, you have your own protective equipment. We know that a pitch at 50, 60 mile per hour hit on the head can cause fatality, okay?
All right, guys, before Bob closes out here, I just want to say thank you to all the parents that are on the call that allowed their scouts to jump on today, to all the leaders that might be on the call listening, and to you scouts for taking your scouting career and your scouting future and your journey to become an Eagle Scout into your own hands today and saying, you know what, we're going to make the best of a bad situation, and we're going to work on a merit badge today. So a lot more opportunities to come, not just from the Sagamore Council, but from other councils across the country. A lot of folks are moving to this virtual platform. We're just one of the first ones to get something kicked off the ground. We have coming up virtually, that I am 100% certain that we are going to have a public health merit badge coming up within the next 7 to 10 days. I'm working with a local municipalities to be able to pull that off here in West Lafayette, Indiana. So we're going to do virtual public health, but we'll communicate that out here in due time within the next 7 days or so. So a lot of things coming up. I know we had scouts, I counted at least from 5 different states: New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Maryland, and Texas on here, which is really, really cool to be able to have scouts on here from all over the place. So job well done to everybody today. Communicate with Bob on what requirements you're able to complete outside of these video platforms. And then he's going to be on the call each day the rest of the week for about an hour and a half to continue to work through some of those requirements, answer questions that you guys may have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we know this isn't 100% smooth yet. We get that. It's a learning process for everybody, but thank you for being trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, fearful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent as we work through this. So job well done. I'm super excited to see everybody on here. My kids are screaming in the background. Obviously, they're all home from school, obviously, just like everybody else is. They're just not old enough to work on merit badges yet. But they are. But my 2 sons are in Cub Scouts, and this one back here will be a Cub Scout in the fall when she gets to kindergarten.
Yeah.
So, and it's Molly, yeah. And she's probably the only 4-year-old that knows the Scout Oath and Law. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Bob, I'll let you finish us up.
Hang on, Brian. There's people asking, they still have issues with getting into Scoutbook. I know the procedure has been written down several times on our website, on Facebook, on how to get Scoutbook and get me linked on.
And I'm pretty sure Scoutbook was having some web maintenance this morning. So
Yes,
today is
that's
not
right.
a good day to try to do anything in Scoutbook, I don't think.
Okay, somebody else posted. So parents, leaders, scouts, if you have anything else, I see Owen, you can open your microphone and ask your question.
I am all good in Scout. While we were doing this, my dad got me all set up with Scoutbook, so I'm good for all this time.
Okay, so I should see in my email that there's an invitation, so I can go in, link you up with my account, and we can go from there. So as you get the stuff done and want to talk to me, remember, have your parent or somebody adult with you as we do the conference, Two Deep Leadership, okay?
Okay.
Anybody else?
Does the home safety flyers count whenever I disputed them to the neighborhood?
Sorry, what was that again?
Home safety flyers disputed to the neighborhood, does that count?
Yeah, if you put out a plan and show your neighbors how something in safety, you know, for example, I'll give you something that's been happening in the island of Puerto Rico, territory of the United States. They've been having earthquakes every day between 2 point something and 4. A lot of neighbors are concerned. So some scouts down there actually have promoted where to go, where to find stuff. So yeah, if you come up with a plan and you spread the idea out to your neighbors, hey, way to go. Good project.
Let them know that you actually send that sheet out.
I actually sended those sheets out before.
Okay, so if you can show me one, we can talk about it and give you credit.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so folks, I've been recording this. It's not the best recording, and all of the scribble and some stuff will come up. But if you guys need to look at it again, we'll, with the help of a few in council, they'll help me out and we can get it out there. Okay. So tomorrow at the same time, yeah, I'll post on our Facebook page the new link, the new invite. Okay. And any questions and answers, and we can go over the whole presentation again if necessary. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, folks.
All right, Bob, do not leave the meeting.
Okay. So who else has a comment or question?
I have a question. We not set up for troop on Scout Book with our troop.
Okay.
So what is the process to do that?
Okay, so what you could do is I put out my email. We could do either emails or we can do another chat. I'll discuss this stuff with the scout. Please be there when we do this. And I can write it all down, what I consider complete. And if you give me your unit leader's email, or I can send it to you, a written letter saying that I've gone through all of the requirements or whatever requirements we do, and I do consider them complete, then you can take it to your unit, and whoever the advancement chair is can do a blue card, and from there honor the badge if it's completed.
Bob, you can also just have people send you a physical blue card, then you fill it out and then send it back to them as long as they've sent you a self-addressed stamped envelope.
True, and I do have blue cards in my possession. So we can do it that way also.
We are also looking at some opportunities. Again, we're working multiple councils here, right? If this was just people in my community, it'd be one thing, but we got people over 5 or 6 different states. Just about a report, a single page printed report that we can log each individual scout, what they've completed, and then send that back to their troop or their council if we can't find the troop or the scout from their troop communication. So we're looking at some other things from a council perspective as how, something similar to what we do during summer camp. When someone comes to our camp for summer camp, how do we report that back to their home council? So we're working through it.
I hope you guys have a good day today.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, anybody else? Yeah, you guys are good to go. So we're technically done unless you have questions. Anything I can answer, anything I can go through again, we're done. Okay.
But technically, since this is a scout meeting, we should close out.
Okay, whoever said that, why don't you lead us? The way you guys do it at your troop. Come on, I challenge you guys. Close out the meeting. Remember, it's Scout-led. It's you guys. So who's willing to close the meeting?
I'll close it.
Okay.
Okay, so my troop is outdoor code, so Scout signs up. As an American, I will do my best in my outdoor manner. Be careful with fire. Spirit in the outdoors.
We conservation minded.
That's pretty cool. Serve all trees to be with us until we leave.
I'm leaving LA.
Dismissed.
Go back
Hey.
You did a very good job.
Great job.
Hey, and conservation.
Good job, Sarah.
That's part of fire. Safety merit badge, and fire and everything else. So, okay, guys, have a great day, and I'll do the invitation on Facebook here in a few minutes. Everybody have a great time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.